Welcome to the Introduction to Transfer Pricing. This is a series of videos on short topics and the fundamentals of transfer pricing. The topic of this video is the impact of a change in the transfer price on profitability. We've already shown how in transfer pricing the profit and loss statement of the two parties in the transaction are going to be linked based upon the transfer price. Now we're going to discuss how a change in the transfer price will affect their profitability. So let's start from the example that we've already worked through. And this is Japan Co. and the UK Co., where Japan Co. is selling to the UK Co. 10 units of product at £7 per unit. So Japan Co. sales are 70 and UK Co. cost of goods sold is 70. That's where the transfer price is embedded in these two different P&Ls. Now, for an extreme reaction, let's go ahead and change the price to 80. You may notice that when we look at this, we haven't filled in the operating profits, but it's fairly clear you could work these out and figure out what's going on. At a transfer price of 80, or £8 per unit, we're going to see that the Japan Co. is now making $20 of profit. When we move that 80 from the Japan Co. sales and we look at it and we say, well, that's going to be the cost of goods sold in the UK, their cost of goods sold has now risen substantially, and their gross profit has fallen to 20 when they have operating expenses of 25, and as a result they're going to incur a loss of 5. What may be most telling here and is important in transfer pricing to keep in mind is notice that the consolidated operating profit in this example is 15. That is exactly the same as the consolidated operating profit of the two entities at the transfer price of £7 per unit. The amount of operating profit earned is going to stay the same, but where it's going to be reported is going to change based upon a change in the transfer price. Now, let's run through an example and have you work it out on your own. What I suggest here is the following case. We're back to our original starting off point of £7 per unit. That case I showed just now was rather extreme because it drove the UK entity into a negative result. That's going to be fairly obvious when one looks at the financial statements. So let's do one that's not so obvious. Right now, as an exercise, I want you to work through the numbers as if the transfer price changed from £7 per unit to £7.10 per unit, or 10p. And assume again that the 10 units are sold and recalculate the operating profits of Japan UK Co. in the consolidated operating profit. So do exactly what we just did in the last class exercise, but do it now on your own. I recommend you hit pause in the video, work out the numbers, and then start it up again so you can see how your answers compare. So, what's the right answer? If you change your transfer price to £7.10, then what's going to be the operating profit in the Japan and what's going to be the operating profit in the UK and the total consolidated operating profit? The correct answer is D. Japan's going to earn one more pound and the UK will earn one less pound, and the total operating profit is still unchanged at £15. Now let's just quickly go through that so you see how that problem was solved. In this example, where we've changed the price to £7.10 or 10p per unit, so now selling 10 units, the total amount of the transfer is going to be for 71. So we changed the sales in the Japan Co. P&L to 71. Their costs are still 60. Nothing's changed there. So their operating profit is now 11. That's one higher than where they were before. In contrast, when we look at the UK, when they now pay 71 to Japan for these same products, that's going to be higher than what they've paid in the past, and their gross profit is going to be 29. That number is one less than where they were before. Their operating expenses are unchanged at 25, and so their operating profit has fallen to 4. But again, when you add the operating profit of Japan Co. together with the operating profit of UK Co., you still get 15. Transfer pricing doesn't change the total consolidated operating profit. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please watch the others in this series.